Hey Capricorn, welcome to your twin flame reading. I know I've been gone for a bit, and I just want to thank you guys for those of you who stayed subscribers and were patient with me through this transition that I've been through. It is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. You'll know if it's for you, if it resonates, if it does, you feel it in your heart and soul. It'll kind of be like, oh, that makes sense. And if it does resonate, please like, share, comment, and or subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Now, as a thank you for those of you who have been very loyal, I'm going to be including a mini version of the extended that I normally offer in this video. I normally offer it for $10. It's another 13 to 15 minute video just based on external information or deeper delving if the first part resonated with you. But I'm just going to include that because I haven't been here a while and I want to say thank you. And for those of you who have hung out with me, okay, or hung on, loyal, yeah, loyalty comes up a lot. I feel maybe because it is Capricorn is such a loyal sign, it keeps coming up. Okay, so the current energy between you and your twin Capricorn. Now I do tend to read for the divine feminine, with the twin being the masculine energy. But remember, the energy is interchangeable, especially if you're closer to inner union than you have been before. The energy is going to go back and forth. So we have a sense of walking away here. We have the energy of walking away between the two of you. For some, it's a choice that you've chosen to walk away. For some, you feel your twin has walked away, or you're assuming they've walked away. But it's all there to bring awareness into your field. So what I mean by that, if you are worried that your twin is walking away from you, okay, where does that assumption come from? And it can't be because they aren't really communicating with you in the physical, because we all experience that. And we all know that when that happens, sometimes there's a lot going on under the surface. So we have attachment on the bottom. Okay, so I feel like this walking away energy is to detach. It's to release attachment to expectations and outcomes. It's not an easy thing to do, because attachments are kind of how we base our safety and security. And that's how we were raised, right? That's how society feels and thinks about things. But unfortunately for us twins, we signed up for this to change those social norms. We have a 5, and then we have a 7 minus 2, which is another 5. And that tells me that this is creating freedom through change. Aries just had that in one of their readings. But what I love about that is that when you release the attachment, when you unchain yourself from those old things, you don't have these bad feelings anymore. They don't exist because they were a part of the attachment. Okay, so let's take a look at how the connection is affecting you right now. That's an interesting card. Okay, what I love is we have the 5 of Cups. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so yeah, we have the 5 of Cups. Okay, the 5 of Cups is sort of someone crying over spilled milk. It's someone who's only focusing on the sadness, the negative parts of things. They don't realize they still have 2 cups standing. If they could just come back to the present, it's sort of this, it's a dark time for some of you Capricorns, and it's only because it's helping you recognize that you're choosing to focus on those things. And I know that's hard to hear, and there's no judgment with that. It's just so intense for you right now because it needs to be done. It's paired with the Fool. The Fool is all about leaving behind what you've always known to create space for what you could learn. Okay, dropping your old baggage. This is old baggage, Capricorn, that I understand that it's difficult to let some of those things go because they're so much a part of who you are and how you've operated up until this point. But it's no longer serving you. It's just keeping you in this horribly sad place. And it's sort of like, and for some of you, you've recognized this. Again, I think it's interesting that we have another 5. And then we have a 0 amplifying the 5. So if you want to be free of this, you have to choose to change. You have to choose the way you view things, or you believe things to be true, or how you go about processing things. It's not an easy thing to do, but I'm going to say this. I say this every time for Capricorns. You're the one sign that can work yourself out of anything because you have the stamina, you have the work ethic. But you have to decide to do that. That's the trick, though, right? All right, let's take a look at a couple cards representing your masculine. If their sign comes up, all the better, but it doesn't have to be them. So we have the Judgment card, and the Judgment card, I feel, is Capricorn energy. I think it was Capricorn Scorpio energy. Okay. And then we also have the 9 of Wands. Okay. Which is a perseverance card. It's also a Sagittarius card. So they could have Sagittarius in their chart. What I heard very clearly is there is a lot of judgment about what's going on with them, but you don't know what's really going on with them and how much they're really persevering and they're pushing through all of their own demons. Remember, we do mirror each other, right? So while you are very expressive and open about what's going on with you, they are not, but they're going through the same things in different ways. They have their own old beliefs that they're fighting against constantly, that keep them in these cycles. So they're also dealing with their own version of attachment. It just ends up showing up very physically for them, less mental and emotional. Because they're masculine, they're very physical, right? All right, what's on their mind right now? Oh, yeah, very interesting. We have the King of Swords energy, okay? So Capricorn, Aquarius, okay? And then we have the Fool, okay? And then we have the Two of Wands, okay? Which is, I mean, it's Aries energy, but it's about making a decision. And I think it's very, and I'm going to say this because this is my own beliefs about the twin flame situation. Take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't feel I'm trying to shove my beliefs down your throat, because that's not what I want to do. I really want to empower you to create your own beliefs that make you feel good, okay? But I firmly believe that the divine feminine energy wakes up first for a reason. You're more awake, you're more aware, you're more connected, okay? It's your job, whether you want it or not, to lead this connection. So when you choose to leave all of these old things behind you, they can follow suit. So I think it's interesting that you show up here in the King of Swords energy, okay? The King of Swords, to me, when it shows up, is an energy of someone that has to stand their ground and perhaps walk the path alone for a little bit. And that's coming to me right now because a lot of feminines, a lot of feminine energies right now are wanting the masculine to give them the green light. To give them even just something, just a sign to say it's okay to move forward. It's okay to move into this new energy. It's okay to better myself. Because it's sort of like you still need validation and approval from them. And the King of Swords showing up here is telling me, and even though this is supposed to be on their mind, this is what's coming through. So I have to let this through. That you're gonna have to walk this path alone first, because that is where your confidence lies, so that you can be an equal to your twin and not a subservient. But it's they want to drop their baggage. They don't want to keep circling the drain, is what I heard. They want this to happen, but it's like they're stuck and they can't make that decision, or if they've made a decision, they can't act on it and they don't know why. And it's because the energies affect each other. If you're stuck, feminine, so is your masculine. It doesn't matter how badly they want to move forward. If you're stuck, so are they. And it's not your job to free them, it's their job, but it's your job to free yourself. And as long as you're stuck, it doesn't help them free themselves. They can't free themselves first. And I get that there's going to be some situations that are different because we're all different. There's no one size fits all. But this is also, we can release that attachment and expectation on our masculines for having to lead the way, because it's not their job to lead the way right now. It's ours. Okay. Very passionate. Whoever this is coming through is very passionate. I'm like toe tapping. Okay. So let's see what they're feeling in their emotions right now. Yeah. So we have the Hierophant, we have the Faith card, higher levels of commitment, spiritual guidance. What I was drawn to was this particular man, like Jesus take the wheel. Like whatever loop they're stuck in is very exhausting for them, and they're tired, but they don't know how to move forward. And this is not a sign for you to reach out to them and be like, hey, I can help you move forward. This is all about you understanding that you need to move yourself forward. And because of the way the connection works, when you do that, you help them move forward. That's just how it works, okay? All right, how are they viewing you and the connection, Capricorn? I love this. I was going to drop the F-bomb. Bam. Okay. They know, okay, and I can't speak for their human self, because their human self has got their own agenda. Their higher self is like, yeah, she's my feminine, she's my other half, and you don't have to be female. I say she because it's feminine energy, but you don't. There's no gender here, okay? That was very clear. So it's not even, I'm hearing sometimes you go and you question and doubt the connection because it's not coming out the way you thought it would. But stop doubting and start focusing on yourself. It's almost like your mind or your ego keeps you tripping over these trivial things that you know to be true, just to keep you distracted so you don't work on yourself. Okay, the High Priestess. Getting reconnected with yourself. But this is a very pivotal time, Capricorn. This is the energy right now is beneficial for you to walk away from those things that don't serve. And your twin is not one of those things. But your old beliefs and the things that keep you in this sad, rejected energy it's one of those things you need to walk away from. All right, let's take a look at hidden factors right now in the connection. Yeah. So we have the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is a very interesting energy. She's very psychic, she's very intuitive, but she has to be willing to connect and be open to that. When she's out of balance, she's very emotionally needy, needs validation, can be passive aggressive, emotionally manipulative. Okay, so if you've been any of those things, there's no judgment here with that, but it's for you to recognize that you're out of balance. Okay, and the amazing thing about the Queen of Cups is when she is in balance, she's very unconditional love, very much in flow with her emotions, at peace, very calm, very understanding, empathetic, mastery of her own emotions, in a very beautiful place. So you could go either way with this, Capricorn, but I feel like underneath it all of this stuff that's happening right now in the hidden part of it is so that you can master your emotions and recognize where those triggers are coming from, okay, where those things are flaring up for you, and creating discord. Okay. All right, blockage is being removed. Okay, blockage. Oh, yeah. We have the Eight of Pentacles, which to me is sort of honing your skills, your work ethic, I feel like there's been a real blockage for you being able to work on yourself. For some, it's almost like, you know, when you're a kid and you think there's a monster in your closet at night and you don't want to open the door and you're terrified of opening that door, so you kind of freeze. It's sort of like that analysis paralysis. And really, when you open the door, it's nothing to really be feared, but you're stuck in this state of fear. So there's this blockage of being able to work on yourself, and to be able to move forward with your own life, with this connection, with your twin. But I feel like that's a blockage being removed right now for you. And I feel it has everything to do around the fact that you're still attached to certain things. Okay, wow. So I was just going to get in a lesson being learned. And we have the Tower and we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So I think it's very interesting that they flipped out that way, because the Queen of Wands in reverse to me is about disempowerment or not feeling empowered. And the Tower is all about being the force for change or being subjected to it. So a lot of you in this Five of Cups victim energy feels like there's so much of this is out of your control and you feel very disempowered by it. And I feel like that's kind of the blockage that's happening for you right now. But to recognize that the Tower isn't, it's here for your greatest and highest good. You're experiencing these things so they can bring up the things that you need to release, okay? So whatever situations that are making you feel defeated or feeling bad, figure out where those bad feelings are come from. Bring them up, bubble them up. And the only reason you're feeling disempowered is because you believe it's possible that something else, something greater than you has more control over your life than you do. And that's just not true. You're a sovereign being. You get to create this and you have powerful energy, Capricorn. You can do this for yourself, okay? You have the ability to be the force for change instead of being subjected to it. But you're going to continually be subjected to it until you take the reins of your own cart, okay? Of your own chariot, if you will. Okay, so how do they want to move forward with you? Let's take a look at that. Oh, I can't even handle this right now. I want to cry. This is the Four of Wands. Okay, this is union. But you have to decide if you're worthy of that union or not. Like, if you still feel like everything else has control. I love that the Chariot is on the bottom, by the way. So we just talked about that. Like, there's this desperate energy coming from your masculine. Like, they need you to wake up and stop and remember that you're more than human. You have more control than you think. And it's time. You know, they're just as exhausted as you are, but this is how they want to move forward in union with you, but they can't. Okay. All right. And again, there's no judgment here. This is all about awareness and perception, so you can take charge and do something about it. Okay. Now let's get some guidance on what you can do right now. I mean, I feel like we talked a lot about that, and it's not an easy thing to do, but anything that makes you feel less than you are needs to go. It doesn't matter whose rule of thumb it is. Wow, they're like really passionate. No judgment there either. I think that's great to have like a cheerleader. Okay, maybe we're only going to get one. Yeah. Completion. And I love that we had love partnership on the bottom. And we had rebirth. Okay. So we know that things have to come to an end. They do. They can't stay in this state forever. Okay. The love partnership begins with self. Okay. Two people coming together to nurture one another, but you have to learn how to nurture yourself first. And then we have rebirth. So with rebirth here, it's rebirthing this concept of what this connection is for you. And to stop putting so much weight on the masculine to make you feel better about the whole thing. You have to decide that it's worth the effort on your behalf. Okay, and I know that's not an easy thing to do because I struggle with that myself, but I feel like you have a good moral compass, Capricorn. You know it's your responsibility, and you know it's, so when that ego part of you comes in and wants to put it all on your twin, you're like, that it's time to take a step back and release that because it doesn't belong. It doesn't serve. Okay, so let's go ahead and get oh, that was fast. Yeah. A guidance piece from the fairies. 9 of Summer. Wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, a magical time in life. Okay. All of these things are yours. They've already been predispositioned for you, but you have to decide whether you were worthy of them or not. You can't have them and all of this other baggage that weighs you down. And I know that this is a hard thing to hear, Capricorn. You know I got nothing but love for you guys. My twin's a Capricorn. But it's time to step out of this whole victim energy, because you're not a victim. You're a very powerful being that gets to take charge of your life, but you got to walk away from anything that makes you feel like you can't do that. Okay. All right. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazing day, Capricorn.